I guess maybe at best, right? And I thought too, we haven't gotten to the part where it'll probably be episodes 3, 4, where Mary leaves him. She's the last one. We know that they end up separating. He's said for a long time he's not attracted to her. He's not with her. I feel for Mary. I mean, she's been doing a lot of work on her social media, it appears, where she's working on her self-esteem. She's been traveling. My favorite recent tabloid story about her was that she's never at her bed and breakfast. She just fakes all these pictures to make it look that way because she's traveling all the time. I just think that's funny. Like, I guess it is her business, right? Her bed and breakfast of her, which has been in the family for like years. But they claim that she takes all these pictures, then she goes to like London and then posts like she's at the bed and breakfast. One of the funniest moments for me is Mary was like trying to explain polygamy and said that she didn't get into polygamy to go to heaven. She got into polygamy because she was dedicated to Kody. And I'm just like, I don't know. No. Her explanation for why she was in polygamy didn't make sense to me. It just didn't. And she said, screw you to everybody who questions her motives of how you guys are going to heaven now, because you used to be uber religious. They've all left the church. They're not interested. But I think they have a real problem on their hands because Cody and Robyn are so unlikable. And without are we going to see a complete 180? Is Cody going to work through this anger and then suddenly be a little bit more happy-go-lucky and joyful? Hunties, we've got a problem on our hands. He is not likable. And without Christine and without Janelle, and Mary's sort of like, I think Mary's gaining a lot more favoritism by the audience online, quite honestly, because I think she's doing a lot of work on herself. She's obsessed with Mel Robbins. I hope Mel Robbins gets on Sister Wives. It's just so far this season to me is feeling more manufactured than ever, meaning I look at Real Housewives of New York, this new reboot. I'm obsessed. The women are authentic. They're talking about their childhood trauma. They're going deep. I mean, Cody and Robyn, to me, it's just, we circle the same thing. How did this happen? And Cody's about, it all comes back to Cody. How could you do this to me? There's no self-awareness. I think they have a problem. It feels pretty manufactured to me. And if Christine and David Woolley and their family can create a show that is more authentic and more of a deep dive and, showing the kids like drama and be a little bit more funny, I think it's in trouble a little bit. I do. And then, I think it's sad for the Sister Wives kids. I mean, I'm so curious now, again, I bet there's a lot of reasons that a lot of the kids aren't on the show. I'm not sure. I bet it's probably more financial, that the network doesn't want to pay the kids, or Cody and Janelle and Christine may all have to pay their own children if they appear. And I know they do a teaser for episode 2 that we're going to see some of Janelle's boys and their thoughts about their dad. I just think, it's so obvious to me that Cody they've grown up. He's not engaged. At least this is how it appears. And I'd be curious to hear more from the kids. Are they that impacted? Do they have a relationship with him offline? It's just it's just not feeling very authentic. It's feeling very interview style. We don't really see, and maybe Cody is truly like so impacted by COVID, they can't get him to do things, but it's like, they should be out like doing activities. I want to see them around like Flagstaff. Like, are they, it just is really, I think lackluster so far. I do. And I think, are we going to see Robyn and Cody be redeemed in some sort of way? Again, I don't mind Robyn as much. I treat Sister Wives like Vanderpump Rules. I'm a late fan to it. So I started watching from the very beginning. And I mean, I could tell you from season 1, hon, when he auditioned Robyn, there were stars in the sky. Like, he was in love in a way that it was very clear he was not in love with the other women. He was in love with her from the beginning. Like, so sweetie, the hens let a fox in the hen house. And whose fault is that? I don't know that you can really go back and say. Let me thank a sponsor. And then we'll talk a little bit about predictions and funny lines from last night's episode. Blissy. Everybody loves me. Everybody loves some Blissy. Blissy is America's #1 pillowcase when it comes to silk. They are made from 100% mulberry silk. Yes, thank you. They're hypoallergenic. And the benefits of sleeping on silk is honestly, there's so many, but as I mentioned, hypoallergenic. So if you have sensitive skin, they're great for that. It stays cool throughout the night, so you won't be constantly waking up sweating. It reduces frizz, tangles, and prevents hair breakage, keeps the moisture in your hair as well as your skincare products. I don't know about you guys, but I have many a cotton pillowcase that is just stained and saturated because I put on my nightly skincare routine and then the pillowcase absorbs half of it. No thanks. The other thing that is so popular about Blissy is their pillowcases are washable and you could throw them in the dryer. Blissy silk pillowcases are the best silk pillowcases on the market. They have a ton of different prints and colors, and they make great gifts because there's an option for literally anyone. Men love them too. They have over 1.5 million raving fans, and you could be next. Try now risk-free for 60 nights at blissy.com/TSFS and get an additional 30% off. That's Blissy, BLISSY.com/TSFS and use code TSFS to get an additional 30% off. Sleep cooler this summer with Blissy, baby. The other thing is Boston Hernia. Boston Hernia, you guys have been making calls. You have been going in to see Boston Hernia and they love you. So they want to do a little promotion because people are buying concerts or they're buying back to school supplies this holiday, or maybe you just want to treat yourself to a fabulous dinner. And Boston Hernia knows that with inflation and everything that is crazy, once you call them to deal with your hernia issue or your man's hernia issue, you then need to treat yourself. So for a very limited time, they are giving the next person that makes an appointment at bostonhernia.com/TSFS a $100 Visa gift card. Make your appointment and then email the Sarah Fraser Show at gmail.com. Now, this is limited time. It is for one person only. We might do it again, but they really want to thank you guys for coming in. If you don't live in the Boston area, but you think you might have a hernia or you think your man has had a hernia, they are also known for repairing hernia surgery because hernia surgery is the #1 surgery. If done incorrectly, it can lead to chronic pain and having to have it done again. Ugh, bananas. So it's first come, first serve, bostonhernia.com/TSFS. This appointment applies whether you're virtual. So they will help you find a great hernia surgeon in your area if you live out here in LA, or if you live in Washington, D.C., or if you're listening to this and you're in the Boston area and you want to go in, that's fine. Make your appointment and then just send me the date of your appointment, your name, and the first person you're getting a $100 Visa gift card courtesy of Boston Hernia. So go to bostonhernia.com. People are saying the best line of the night last night was when Christine said being divorced from Kody is awesome. That girl, I'm telling you, she is living the best life. She looks so good. She looks so happy on the show. I'm glad to see it. And, I wasn't the biggest Christine Brown fan. She is by far the fan favorite. I guess I didn't really have a fan favorite, but I will say the more I see her divorced, the more I do say, okay, there's something joyful about her. There's something very happy about her. And I just think that it's great. And so anyhow, I do think they're a little bit in trouble. There's also a breaking news story coming out that Cody Brown is desperate to patch things up with Janelle. And the Sister Wives star spoke to people about his relationship and breakdown. So this is a brand new interview. Choosing to leave the marriage over communication issues. And he says, I'm still looking for reconciliation with Janelle. I won't say she's been wishy-washy about the departure, he said. I will say that. But I keep thinking this isn't a reason for us to break up. We can work through this. We can find true trust again and negotiate. Honey, it is. The ship has sailed, honey. We need to move on. He and Robyn were apparently down in Mexico looking for that other sister wife. We'll keep going. But he does want to reconcile, apparently, with Janelle. It's never going to happen. There is never going to be a reconciliation. And don't you feel bad for Mary? I feel so bad for, Mary should be the angriest. He completely, wants nothing to do with her. The other line that people are freaking out about and have a lot of thoughts about is when Kody says that his marriage is breaking up is like a civil war. And a lot of people are like, dude, really? Like a civil effing war? Like so much shit. Like people die in civil wars. Like what the fuck is wrong with you? But there you have it. I mean, I think the other thing that's a little bit worrisome now, I'm out here in LA. My last thought on this, and then I always want to hear your opinions about season 18, episode 1. Did you think it was that good? Do you think the show is in trouble? The other thing I thought was very fascinating, 90 Day Fiancé usually trends for a day or two after the show is aired. Welcome to Platteville, not so much, and 1,000-Pound Sisters, not so much. They don't have as big as a viewership as Sister Wives, but Sister Wives has 2 million viewers. They did last year. I don't think it's going to be this high this year, but I was shocked. I did not see a lot of online conversation, and I didn't see it trending all that long on Twitter. And again, it's a franchise. It's a heritage show for them. It's had a lot of longevity, but I do think the anger is wearing thin. I think the same kind of storyline of Robyn being shocked, unless they're going to like get therapy, are we going to all like have a kumbaya? And I just don't think we are. I don't know where they go from here, but please weigh in at the Sarah Fraser Show on TikTok, on Instagram. I'll have a brand new TLC Talk episode for you on Wednesday. And today I also dropped Ed and Liz part 2, Big Ed and Liz from 90 Day Fiancé, huge interview. Love you guys. Bye, everybody.